Halo, Halo, Halo. This is yours truly, Diva Marie.
In the house.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. UNA. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. I'm yours truly, Diva Marie. TikTok, what's going on? YouTube, what's going on now? My people on TikTok, they see me with a different background, and it's apropos. This is on the beach for those of y'all who are in YouTube and you can't see this. So on TikTok, my background is a beach, which is great because that's where I'm headed. We're at the end of the spring season for UNA University, and I am going on vacation. All right. So I like this background. I mean, I like it, but I don't like it because I really wanted something else. But TikTok is doing something funky with the whatever they're doing. They're making their changes, and then I can't find the status that I need on this thing. So I look like there's a beach in the background, and that's fine because that's where I'm headed to my vacation spot. All right, so now what I want to get into today, we're going to talk about some history. What really happened? What really happened in history? So, want to go into that today. Now, I want to make sure that I make a few announcements before I get into it and let people come on in. My people who have supported UNA by purchasing a book, I love you. I thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. I thank you. I appreciate you. We appreciate you here at UNA. All right. They're in the mail. You should have received or will be receiving shortly a confirmation with your tracking number where you can track your delivery. Okay. These are in the mail. And some of you may have received your book already. But if you have not, make sure you check your email and you can check your spam mail because unfortunately, sometimes our emails end up there. All right. UNA beginner law book, these are in the mail. And thank you all for your support and your love. Y'all doing it like you did it the first time, just buying them out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you want to get one of these books, these physical copies, we have a few left on this particular run that we've done. So you're welcome to please go ahead and send in so we can get you a physical copy of this book. Um, you can get this at unauniversity.com. You can scroll down in the links. All right, scroll down in the link. And then what you're going to do is what you click on the UNA law book, UNA beginner law book. All right. And you'll be able to get either the ebook copy, which is $19.99, or you can get this physical copy, which is $39.99. So let me tell you what this physical copy comes with. Comes with, of course, this book. What's in this book? All of the laws, UNA, hierarchy of laws, maxims of laws are in here. Uh, Universal laws are in here. We go into why it's so important these laws are. We go into contract law in this document. All right. Some of the contracts that you have been entering into and didn't recognize. Okay. The vibratory frequency chart. It's a powerful book. Uh, in understanding this, what you want to recognize is with this book comes a laminated copy of the hierarchy of law chart, a laminated copy of the universal law chart, and a laminated copy of the vibratory frequency chart. Okay, these are once again in the book, but we want you to put these things up around your house, on your walls, on your refrigerator, in the bathroom, on your mirror. We want you to put these up. We want you to be walking past them and seeing them every day. All right. So I want you to, if you're still wanting one, go ahead and go to unauniversity.com Okay. And you'll be able to scroll down and get this. You can also find the link in the bio. And once again, those of y'all who have supported us, we love you. We appreciate you. We thank you. Send a mail. Check your email so that you can get your confirmation number. Now, I just told you we're ending. Today is the last session, and I have to go into that in a few for the UNA University Spring Season 2022. Now, next season, what is coming up? Next season, we've got 3 sessions as well. Uh, one of them deals with contract law, contract law, and how you're entering into contracts and not recognizing it, how to create your own contracts, what to write in your contracts. We'll go into uh, how dealing with student loans, dealing with mortgage companies, how what to put in a contract. What does it need to look like? What does your contract when you send it back to these people who gave you a ticket? What does that look like? What do you need to put in that contract? We're going through it. All right, so we're gonna have contract writing class. It's called POP, Power of the Pen. POP, Power of the Pen. This is dealing with contract writing and how to make your contracts powerful. Another class that I'm very, very excited about, history, what you never learned. History, what you never learned. We're going to go through the truth about who the so-called forefathers were. Who was it that created this United States of America? Where did it come from? Who were the true original people of the land? We're going to start to recognize some of the archaeology that's been hidden from us, some of the legal documentation that has been hidden from us, some of these esoteric laws that we'll go into that have been hidden from us. All of that is a part of history. All right. So now we have a new class that's coming up that I'm very excited about. It's called Temple Purification. Temple Purification. Cleansing of the mind, body, and spirit. Temple Purification. Cleansing of the mind, body, and spirit. Very excited about that class because in that class we're going through uh, what foods are we eating and how they affect our body. We're going into that mental side, the spiritual side, cleansing that. How do we cleanse that spiritual side? We're also going to be going into some things. Women, what's going on with these periods? You want to stop them? We're going into that in this class. We're going into fellas. Okay, what's going on with you and your sperm and your semens? We're going into that, and really that deals with contract law as well. All right, contract law and how we're not valuing certain things that are valuable. We just not valuing certain things that are very, very valuable. So when you start learning how to do that, contract law and that kind of go hand in hand. So we're going into that, some new stuff this season. I'm excited about that, or this upcoming season, summer 2023. So uh, if you're wanting a free consultation to be a part of UNA University, leave a message in the inbox. All right. Lastly, those of you all who have sent a message because you want to have a what we call a membership package. Those of y'all who have been wanting to join UNA as a member, okay, those that is going out today. Now, what we did, we're going to send a link out to everybody today. We want to make sure our system is routing the information properly. So I just had my tech guys working on that. But this is a membership package, okay? Declaration is sealed. UCC, that is sealed. Security agreement, that is sealed. This is the UNA seal. Once again, these packages are whereby UNA is acknowledging you as a sovereign. UNA is a sovereign entity. You are another sovereign entity. This also comes with an allodial ID. Okay. with your allodial ID, this is dealing with your spiritual name. It will also have on the back of it a QR code where once you scan this, it will give you access, quick access to all of your documents that are on record with UNA. Also, a membership badge. When you scan this QR code, it shows that you're a standing member with UNA. This deals with your all cap corporation. The advantage of this is if any organization, whether it be your job or anybody else, is trying to violate your rights, this establishes that you have a God. I mean, you could say that out your mouth, but it helps for them to see that you're a part of a organization that does not allow them to stand over your God. Okay, so again, the membership package, these are 175. These are 175. The link is going out today. You're going to be able to find that on UNA University website as well. All right, you'll be able to find that where you'll be able to click on that link and go ahead and begin your enrollment as a member of UNA. So there's a difference between being a student and a member. So the membership package, and it comes with these documents that I just went over, is 175. Okay. Now, if you wanted to enroll as a student in the UNA University, send a message and we're going to get a free consultation to you. All right. So, with that being said, let's get into some history before I have to get up out of here and go into class. By the way, I expect we will be here tomorrow on Thursday, uh, 8 o'clock p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be here Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, because we're wanting to go over some uh, law and history. So if you want us to go over something in particular, please leave a message in the inbox and we will get to it on our upcoming session. So let's get into this history. What I wanted to go into about history, and I briefly talked about who the forefathers were, who the original forefathers were. One of the things that's not being told to us is that there were a lot of melanated people that came into the land known as the Americas that were trying to divide it up and conquer it or what have you. Now, we know about the British, and the British came in around the 1600s. So we're talking, they were shortly after Columbus came in, then everything, everybody recognized, oh, there's land there. Okay. But Britain came in and they really started to establish and set up organizations or companies in what we know of as the Americas in the 1500s. Okay, we know about Columbus 1492. After that, everybody else wanted a piece of whatever the action was going over here. Well, Britain comes in the 1500s and they establish, or it was the late 1500s, early 1600s, what's known as the Virginia Company. You might have heard me speak about this. This is the Virginia Company. This is the same company that you know of as the state of Virginia. It's the same company. It's a company. That's all it is. And so they started establishing these states. Now, here's the deal. We're made to think that those people who were coming over were light-skinned beings. And we need to understand that they were melanated. Now, for me and my students, we recognize that when it comes to race and all of that, we're not stuck on this whole thing about them against us and us against them and black against white. And you're not going to hear me calling melanated people black or albions white, because those terms have to do with status. So what I need you to understand is those people coming in from Britain, they were melanated. Even Columbus himself, when you go back and look at his history, you're going to find that it is highly unlikely that he was the Albion that they're trying to paint him out to be. The same way they're painting Jesus as being an Albion character, which he couldn't have been according to any scripture, any historical documentation, anything that's depicting what happened really in that time. There's no way the character Jesus could have been an Albion. That's the same thing with Christopher Columbus. Let people tell you King James was Albion, but it wasn't. He's melanated. The Jesus character had to be melanated. We're not arguing whether or not Jesus existed or not. We're not going into that. If we're looking at historical documentation, if he did exist, he would have had to been a melanated person or being. Okay. I need y'all to understand the same thing has happened with Christopher Columbus. When you go and look at his history, it's showing that he was a convert to what we know of as Christianity. He was converting because of the simple fact that he was about to get kicked out of Spain. And if he didn't convert from whatever he was to Christianity, then he would be exiled. Well, what was his original religion or state? It was he was a Muslim and or a Jew. Muslim or Jew. Now I need y'all to understand. See, when y'all see Jew today, y'all thinking these light-skinned beings, but the original Jews were melanated. And I want you all, if you're not aware of it, go and look up the 12 tribes of Israel. That's where the term Jew is derived. One of those tribes were uh, named Judah, Judah. And the term Jew was a shortened title of that term, Judah. So the Jews were of one of the tribes of Israel. All of those tribes were melanated, all of them were not light skinned in the bunch. Those are said to be your chosen people. But somebody has switched places with the original people of the Bible. All right, getting back to it. Uh, just helping you to understand how somebody is playing a game where the history is being whitewashed, or uh, the original people who did things, their skin color or their ethnicity is being changed. Their identity is being stolen, and so we have to understand that. Now, again, we when you really go into history, we understand melanated people did some dirt. Thank you, Mr. Biggs, for the love. Thank you for the roses. We understand that melanated people did some dirt. Uh, Reginald says, was that King James? Was who King James? Let me know. And thank you the best for sharing the video. Energy God, welcome. And thank you for joining. Johnny, thank you for joining. I'm trying to go through this thing quick because I got to get out of here. But getting back to it, ask me that question so that I understand it, Reginald, please, so that I can answer it before I get out of here. All right, so yeah, but King James, they've tried to whitewash him too. All right, that's the King James Bible. That was a melanated being. So I'm getting into this because I need y'all to understand all royalty was originally melanated. All royalty. Doesn't matter they was Dutch or Spanish or Scottish or British. All of royalty was originally melanated people. So the reason why I bring that up is because we have to understand who was coming into the Americas. When we're talking about Britain first getting into the Americas, you got to understand at that time, the Queen of England was melanated. At that time, the Queen of England, which was we're talking about in the 1600s, 1500s, the Queen of England was melanated. So now you've got these people coming over here, And the way we're being taught is that these are some Albions coming in taking over. That's not the case. Those people were melanated coming in from Britain. But it wasn't just people coming in from Britain who were melanated trying to take over the territory. There were other, what I call elite Moors. And it didn't have the term Moor does not have anything to do with their skin color. It has to do with the fact that they were sailors. That's what Moor or mooring, moored, Moored, it deals with a job done on a ship. They were sailors and they were mostly melanated. But you can even go and ask the so-called people calling themselves Moors, and they will tell you there were Albion Moors. So it doesn't have any, that term doesn't have anything to do with skin color. It just so happens that the vast majority of those selling were melanated people because those are the ones who had the funds and the money at that time. Even if we're talking about Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand, these are the people who financed Christopher Columbus's voyage to what we know of as the Americas today. Those were melanated people who financed Columbus's voyage. They were melanated. So, and these are things that we can go back and look up. So it's being made to seem as though all these people coming into the Americas were light-skinned people or Albions when they were not. So you've got people coming in from Britain. Now, the British were amalgamating themselves, meaning they had started to mate or sleep with or procreate with Albions, whereby their skin color started being lighter. They were mixed. But your Moors coming in from Morocco, Tunis, Algiers, Tripoli, Tunis, Algiers, Tripoli, Montezuma. Morocco, Tunis, Algiers, Tripoli, not Montezuma. But all of those people who were coming in, they were melanated. They were dark. And when they came in, their deal, they all of these people had an understanding of contracting. They all understood contracting, they understood trust. But when the British came in and they had to deal with the original people of the land who were already there, they at least wrote contracts. Now they were trying to take the land, but they wrote contracts whereby they made treaties with the original people of the land. I have 13 of them that come well before 1777, whereby the British made a deal with the original people. Now, when they asked the original people to turn over the land, the original people were adamant that the land remain in the name of their descendants, that they would not turn over the land, but they would agree to pay taxes. So this is where these treaties come into play, and the original people or the descendants of the original people is still in their name once they wake up and choose to recognize who they are. That's where we are. The original people are asleep. The descendants are clueless. And those treaties tell the story about who the land truly belongs to. And as soon as they wake up, then a lot of this mess has to go away. Okay. So they make these treaties, the Britons do, with the original people. But you had those Moroccans, and they didn't consider themselves with Morocco, but they were Moors from the other land, and they came into the land and they started establishing governments. What you know of as counties today, that comes from these Moors, what I call elite Moors, who they're elite because of their knowledge of law. So you got the British in here trying to contract with the original people, and then these elite Moors come in and they started developing counties. Thank you, Jackson, for the love for the roads. Y'all understand? Right now, there are several different government agencies. There's federal, city, state, county. And then there's some other ones. I won't go into that right now. But y'all know the main ones: federal, state, city, and county. County are the one, this is the highest on the private side. These were set up by those elite Moors. State, this is not even a true government agency, it's a foreign entity. I'm not getting into that now. The bottom line is, I need you to understand that there were different governments set up. This belongs to Britain. State still belongs to Britain to this day. It's a private agency. Anything talking about state of Tennessee, state of Texas, state of whatever, that's a private entity belonging to Britain. This counties is supposed to be for the people on the private side. And then there's federal that I won't get into today. I just wanted to mention those things so you understand that there were different groups coming in, establishing different governmental entities. All right. And so you've got these elite Moors that have come in, and they are the ones who established the United States of America. The United States of America, not to be confused with the United States. They are two different entities. The United States is up here with states, with Britain, that foreign entity that has contracted with the original people of the land who are still asleep. Then you got the United States of America, which deals with the county side and the sovereign side or the republic side, that was established by these elite Moors, all melanated people. But they want you to think the so-called forefathers were Albion. All right. I gotta get out of here, but I want to just establish that when you're talking about history, what you've been told and the stories that have been thrown in your face are Roots and Amistad and, you know, 12 years a slave. That's okay. Those are stories. It did not go down the way that we are being told. And we got to come into understanding of that, because we've got to recognize the role that we melanated people played in our own demise. We have to start recognizing that. And that's when we come out of this mess. All right. So, with that being said, let me make sure if there's anything else I needed to say. I think I had somebody ask me a question. But the bottom line is to just be aware that melanated people held a high position in all of the Americas, all the way into the mid 1800s. And then it flipped because there was energies that we had to come into account of. When did the Thank you, Reginald. Reginald says the Dutch was before the British. Tell me real quick, and please feel free to leave a message in the inbox, and I'll be glad to go over this because I'll be here tomorrow, about the Dutch. And when does your research, Reginald, say that the Dutch came in? And then we'll go into that, because everybody was trying to get a part of the Americas. I mean, there was the Russians were in here. There were, as a matter of fact, if I have the opportunity, then I'll share a map if I have the opportunity of just who was in here trying to claim parts of the land. The French were here. So we'll go into that. But yeah, tell me about the Dutch, what your research says, and I would love to go into that with you tomorrow, Reginald. Okay. So I'm yours truly, Diva. I want y'all to know I love you. Check out this history. Check out the information that I put out, because what I'd like to do is just give you what my research shows. And then if you have some research that says something different, let's get into it. Why? Because we're only going on the facts. All right. When we're talking about facts, there is no argument. All right. I love y'all. Diva Laree. I will see you all tomorrow. I thank you so much. Leave a message. Uh, if you're wanting this package, make sure you leave a message in the inbox. My people on YouTube, you can go and find us on UNAUniversity.com. My supporters, the book is in the mail. I love you. I love you. I thank you. I'm out. Peace. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Well, keep playing.